my friends. How are we doing? We are live on KIWI KUP TV. This is Brekky In The Cave, and we're going to kick off with something very nice from Christopher Martin. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. I'm going to be letting you know all about what's happening on today's show in just a second.
This is a journey into sound.
What it is?
Hey, hey. Sweet for my sweet, sweet. More money for my honey. Girl, them a try, but them can't done it. Hey, 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 hey. Man, come fi nice up the party, party. Ram up the dance, man, you go wine. Pana catty, catty. Hear me no boss, no bother. Rise up the shotty, shotty. Lucky way fast.
How was everyone's weekend? How is everyone doing?
Yesterday, just wait.
Feeling a little weird today.
Me and my friend who I go buy.
This one brand new from Christopher Martin. Nice up the party. What a show we've got on the way today.
Ready.
I'm so excited to let you all know.
No say it, no daddy, daddy.
Out to the early morning locked in crew. Let us know how you're feeling. Drop a little comment in the live chat. Let's get the conversation going.
Hear me no boss, no bother. Rise up the shotty.
Let us know where you're listening from. Who are you looking forward to the most?
Vibes are good, we another 3 in dust. See that pretty one over there, so she never get it.
And to the 3000 bass crew inside.
No one right here, so
always good to hear from you guys in the morning.
Steady now. 2 of them have to get it tonight. My movement steadily now. Man, I done in the street, so me have to do it. I'm a heavy man, a nice up the party, party. Ram up the dance, man, you gon' wine. Pana catty, catty. Hear me no boss, no bother. Rise up the shotty, shotty. Lucky way fast. When the music sweet, good vibes, I got to read another 3 in dust. Hey, don't touch your pocket, pool. Leave this round to me. Make us a number put to that girl, me love off her body. Me go show her me at the bar, show her me at the daddy. Me go buy top shelf till them feel like me, I get them for free. Man, come fi nice up the party, party. Ram up the dance, man, you gon' wine. Pana catty, catty. Hear me no boss, no bother. Rise up the shotty, shotty. Lucky way fast. When the music sweet, good vibes, I got to read another 3 in dust. Hey, me get paid from yesterday, just wait till me touch the venue. Me and my friend Pooh, I go buy out the bar, we go shell on the place, me I tell you. Them see we face, we run this place, the party ready. Girl, them know we style, them know say it, no daddy, daddy. We are nice up the party, party. Ram up the dust.
This one, a proper sing-along. Sounds of Christopher Martin.
Rise up the shotty, shotty. Lucky way fast. When the music sweet.
Best way to wake up is with a reggae tune. I try and do that every day.
One over there, so she never get it, but she said she ready now. Under one right here, so watch every move, cause we moving steady now. 2 of them have to get it tonight. My movement steadily now. Man, I done in the street, so me have to do it. I'm a heavy man, come fi nice up the party, party. Ram up the dance, man, you gon' wine. Pana catty, catty. Hear me no boss, no bother. Rise up the shotty, shotty. Lucky way fast. When the music sweet, good vibes, I got to read another 3 and that. Man, come fi nice up the party, party. Ram up the dance, man, you gon' wine. Pana catty, catty. Hear me no boss, no bother. Rise up the shotty, shotty. Lucky way fast. When the music sweet, good vibes, I got to read another 3 and that. Man, come fi nice up the party.
And there we go. Sounds of Christopher Martin. That one nice up the party. Fresh reggae music. Perfect way to kick off the morning. It's looking, I don't know. I haven't really looked outside yet, so I can't really tell. It's looking bright. That's the best way to describe it. What does that mean? It's looking bright outside. There's daylight. Very weird. Never really understood that phrase. How are we doing this morning, my friends? It's KIWI KUP TV. Out to the new friends locking in this morning. Please do hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow this channel as much as possible. As you saw, we hit 250 subscribers this weekend. That's us up to 250 in 8 weeks, which I'm very, very happy with. We've gone up 50 in a week, which is really, really cool to see. And having looked into it, the majority of the subscribers to the channel are coming from this breakfast show. The listener rate is really, really high in regards to how long people are listening for, which is sick to see. I like to think that means we're doing something quite enjoyable here on the show. So definitely going to be looking into doing as many of these breakfast shows as possible and continuing the run. You know, we want to make sure as many people are enjoying the show as possible. So yeah, out to everyone locked in this morning. Make sure you're sharing the link as well. Let's get some people in here. Let's have a conversation. So what we're going to be looking at today is a number of different topics. Let's have a little look-see through what's on the agenda. We're going to be looking at a new Netflix series, White Lines, based in Ibiza. It's a bit of a thriller, apparently. We're also going to be looking at Notting Hill Carnival being cancelled. As well as that, we're going to be looking at something very interesting, a very unusual article I saw pop up over on GRM Daily, which I want to kind of look through and break down a little bit. Yeah, the new Marvel series featuring Nick Fury, the Fury Files. That's on the way. I'm a massive Marvel fan. Haven't spoken much about Marvel on this show. Normally on the breakfast show I run over on Trickstar, we do a section every day called Marvel Watch, where we look into the latest news from Marvel. Obviously, at the moment, that isn't really a possibility because, well, there's not really much Marvel news floating around, if you know what I mean. So we have to kind of take it as it comes and do little pieces on it here and there. But there we go. So we've got loads of new music to play as well. New music from Champion, new TC the Genius on the way. As well as that, we've got some new Eni, some new Afro B, some new T-Pain. It's going to be loads of stuff. I've just noticed outside there's my light might be flickering a little bit because it looks very strange outside, but there we go. Yeah, and as well as that, we've got two amazing guests. I nearly forgot we've got two amazing guests. I like to think we always have pretty cool guests on this show. First of all, we're going to be joined by Deyah, a really cool rapper, and she's got a very unique style, very unique kind of flow, way of putting music together, really unique compositional style, so I'm really looking forward to chatting to her at 10:30. Following that, we're going to be talking to Gemi at 11. Now, Gemi is one of the people who's made it through to the second round of the KIWI KUP, so we're going to be talking about his experience so far, getting involved in such a prestigious competition. He sent over some exclusives as well, so we're going to be getting into those. You know, we like to keep it exclusive here on the show, and we are constantly looking for new things, new music, new news, to keep you guys entertained, you know? That's what we like to do. Keep people entertained in the morning. As I said before, please do let us know how you're feeling this morning in the group chat on the right-hand side. If you're listening in via YouTube Live, leave a little message. Let us know how you're feeling. Let's get some conversation going. Let us know where you're listening from. Let us know how you're feeling this morning. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the weird thing for me was, yesterday I watched Requiem for a Dream for the first time. I feel weird. I don't know if everyone feels like this after watching Requiem for a Dream, but I feel a bit odd after watching it, to be honest with you. I don't know. Just don't know. Not a fan. It was horrible. But I'm not going to go on about it because I know it's a lot of people really, really like the film. I just made me feel weird the entire way through. We're going to get into some good vibes music-wise. This one coming from Champion, his remix of Popcorn's Family. This one dropped last Thursday for free download, so if you can, go and grab this one. It is an amazing remix. My idea of a perfect garage remix is this one. Let's get into it. Don't go anywhere. It's Cupcan TV. Share the link around. Let's have some fun.
Champion soul.
If I want to be a fern killer, you don't believe in a fern killer. Family, I may say family. If I want to be a fern killer, you don't believe in a fern killer. Family, I may say family. If I want to bird killer, bird be kill it dead. No when bird killer, bird be kill it. If I want to bird killer, bird be kill it dead. No when bird killer, I may say family. If I want to bird killer, bird be kill it dead. No when bird killer, bird be kill it. If I want to bird killer, bird be kill it dead. No when bird killer, I may say family. Love if I'm them to me heart. Do the earth one of them be kill it dead to the end of the promise start. Real better than. But them don't know when we are by trees are the only one gonna rise from shop. And them don't know when we are get chased by cops and them a gun and don't jump. And I know I'm break it now. No struggle feel. I know all of the pussy them. I know who fucking me now. Make them trick me and kill me. No way, you must see no glamour. Life are the greatest thing that. Me know them go, now me know them my God. Can't trick me and kill me. No way, you must see no glamour. Life are the greatest thing that. Me know them go, now me know them my God. I mean, don't you them want thief when see it clear, say them a man move. Them know say that you ain't a friend. They like you, man blue. Man loyal, too loyal. Someone with his think of like good trial. Informer want judge up the one trial. Them days that me don't just know when I y'all. Me no know if them things real, but me know fi a pop and every man real. Some boy I don't in a clean, them no want see a next youth fi feel. Tell them evil and demon, them can't stop me down Tree Island. Anytime me a drive on my van, big fat matic inna me right hand. Now make them trick me and kill me. No way, you must see no glamour. Life are the greatest thing that. Me know them go, now me know them
sounds of Champion on that one. Remix of Popcorn's Family. Really, really cool tune, that one. I'm a massive fan of how that one sounds, how it's put together. Amazing remix. In my opinion, the perfect example of a well put together garage remix. For me, that's a tune that just works and will continue to work as time goes on. It's one it will stand the test of time, I feel. There we go. As I said, we've got loads of new music to play. New Alpha Steppers, I didn't mention earlier. New TC the Genius featuring Shalina. Really cool new single there. Put a piece together on that one for DZens. You can go and check that out over there. New Any as well. That came through from Pac London, who are absolutely smashing it right now, I've got to say. New Murder He Wrote as well in the bag. New NSG, new Ibamar, and of course 3 bangers from Gemi and from Deyah. So there's loads of good music on the way. Being completely honest with you, come on guys, let's be realistic here. They're all bangers. So moving forward then, let's have a little look at this news from Marvel. A new Marvel series is on the way, starring Nick Fury, called The Fury Files, and it's an animated series dropping exclusively on Disney Plus this month. Don't know where this has come from. The Fury Files will concern 50 years of infamous Marvel villains through the eyes of S.H.I.E.L.D. boss Nick Fury, who will be voiced by, I think, for some reason that word is blurred out on my screen, Chi McBride. The official summary for the show reads, Fury Files drops on Disney Plus on Friday, May the 15th, so this weekend, by the looks of things. And you shouldn't be surprised that Nick Fury has files on every single Marvel superhero. Fury Files gives viewers top secret access to S.H.I.E.L.D. intel on key Marvel heroes and villains. Interesting. All of this is told by none other than the mysterious Fury himself, bringing together a mix of animation and motion comic art. Looking to download a bunch of information about every single hero, Fury's got you covered. It's been announced recently that Fury, who is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, of course played by Samuel L. Jackson, was originally scheduled to be killed in Avengers Endgame, but he hasn't. So very interesting. The show is also set to land on Disney Plus on the 15th of May. So this weekend we'll see a new Marvel series. Is this going to be enough to make me go over to Disney Plus yet? Probably not. I'm going to get it eventually, as I've said, but for the time being there's nothing on there that I haven't seen, and this seems like it's something that's been very much thrown together. I don't know how it's been animated. It would not surprise me if it's been done by one person and kind of put together quite rushed and be a sort of quite like a low budget kind of approach, because obviously the studios are going to be closed by now, so you can't really put anything super high tech together. It'll be interesting to see though. I might check it out and see just how much information there is, because obviously I'm a bit of a Marvel nut, if you know me, and you'll be able to see. So I'm always keen to find out as much information as possible. But if I'm being honest, I don't know how much is actually going to come from this. If it's just like a moving pictures and a list of information, I don't know. It's not really going to cut it for me, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, let's have a look at another banger we can play for you guys this morning. This next one coming from TC the Genius featuring Shalina. This is one I picked up over the weekend. Really, really cool tune, this one. Out to everyone locked in this morning. Don't go anywhere. It's Cupcan TV. This one going by the name of Deep in the Dark.
Life's designed to capture, not captivate. Man, it's the ride from the free flow of the earth. I'm not interested in accolades or escalades, Cadillacs or getting paid. Focused on that too much, I lost out of my love by chasing a better day. And we all need better days. New man frame to aid and escalate. Above grey clouds here forming. Had to take the first sign as my last warning. That's how I stopped myself from falling again. Got forced to remain where I stood in the pool in the force of the rain. I resort to restrain. But it later, I'm already up with the planes. Fuck the constraints, fuck with the chains. Fuck the government, fuck what they say. Fuck the government, fuck what they say. Life moves quick, I wish it would slow down. Get out my pronouns. Put on my whole town, I still try to do that anyway. Life moves quick, I wish it would slow down. Get out my pronouns. Put on my whole town, I still try.
Deep in the dark of night, that's when I come alive. No sleep but I'm alright. I'm out to get what's mine.
They wanna count me out, like changing my whole that back. Think I did it, don't wear a toe tag. Came from the rhythm, ending in saga. Came from the rhythm, ending in black. Came from the back, getting up from the front door. Raising the bar, never raising the flag. Been taming myself, cause when I've been mad. Abusive views I took in from my back. He got sick of the valleys, fall back to the honeys. And I just in the darkness of valleys that frequent. Luck is a recent, it's non-existent. I eat with vegans, keep repeating till I'm achieving a workplace on earth just to live up breathing.
In the dark of night, that's when I come alive. Deep in the dark of night, that's when I come alive. No sleep but I'm alright.
to be a breadwinner. Shame that it's bread for dinner. Hey man, I'm getting thinner. Pray that I'm in a villa. Next year I'm setting bigger. Aim's not contained within her. Bubble that I blew myself and hope would shield me from my inner. Battles couldn't hackle the tittle tattle. Simple, simply hang on man, I grip and grapple. Safe stack all my efforts. Bring back all my pressures. A little weight to get the ball rolling. I see free land, I'm a free man and it's all open. Praise to be a breadwinner. Shame that it's bread for dinner. Hey man, I'm getting thinner. Pray that I'm in a villa. Next year I'm setting bigger. Aim's not contained within her. Bubble that I bleed myself and hope would shield me from my inner.
Sounds of TC the Genius on that one, featuring Shalina. Deep in the Dark, produced by LJ Beats. Brand new music here on KUBCAM TV. You know how we do, man. We like to keep it nice and fresh, nice and up to date, nice and original when we're putting stuff together. Out to everyone locked in this morning. As I said before, let's get some conversation going, guys. Let's have a bit of a back and forth. Let us know where you're listening in from and what you're up to today as well. What's happening in the world of lockdown? I'm very keen to hear what people's movements are this morning. We've obviously had a bit of confusing news thrown on us. As I said before, I don't really like to touch on politics on this show, primarily because I don't really think that I'm a person to comment on it on radio. However, on my Twitter feed, you can find out how about I can't even speak. That's how much. You see, this is why I don't talk about it. It puts me in a mood. But let's crack on. Let's look at some good things. Let's look at some good news. Let's look through this Clash competition yesterday. The most recent NS 10v10 clash. Drake versus Rihanna. The big one happened last night. After weeks of entertaining clashes, season 1 of the NS 10 vs 10 clash series has come to an end with a clash between two of the world's biggest artists in Drake and Rihanna. Interesting. Two artists that actually dip into SoundClash culture quite regularly as well, both making a fair bit of dancehall music over the years. Very interesting. For those who haven't been paying attention, the clash sees two artists battle it out across 10 rounds with a careful selection of tracks being represented, tracks representing them, being put together by DJs. Listeners can decide the winner by voting on a Twitter poll, and the winner takes all. There we go. Past clashes obviously include the likes of J Hus versus Kojo Funds, Akon versus T-Pain, Burna Boy versus Popcorn, Vibes Cartel versus WizKid, Weston versus N-Dubs, and Rick Ross versus Lil Wayne. So some big clashes here. With that, Scully representing the OVO 6 side and Henry for Barbados and the Rihanna Navy. The clash saw the two artists go head to head. The final result was Rihanna winning 6-4, and the Twitter reactions were hilarious as always. You can have a look through some of these down below. Someone called I am a Dreyan, I think it is. Did this man refer to Rihanna as an Avon lady? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're quite funny, some of these. But yeah, final score was 6-4 to Rihanna. Does that make Rihanna the better artist? Being honest, I'm not too sure. I mean, they both have unlimited bangers. I think Rihanna's realistically one of the most inspirational musicians worldwide. She does an amazing job across so many different fields, and it's sick to see. She was acting for a bit as well at one point, which is sick. I don't know really what happened to her on that front. But there we go. That's the result of the most recent clash over on NS 10v10. I hope to see another series of it. I think realistically it's going to be a while since they put it together because, I mean, they've got to think of other artists they can do it with on the same scale, you know? I don't think they can... I mean, what I'd like to see is if they put all the winners then into like a 5-way clash and did like a 3-hour show and everyone played one sound and every round someone got... every like 3 rounds someone got knocked out. That'd be quite a cool thing to do. But I'm not going to go telling them how to run their platform because it's their platform and they're doing incredibly well with it, so big up to them. Out to everyone involved as well. Out to Henry, she's smashing it at the minute. It's really sick to see. Let's have a jump into some more music then, shall we? I've got another fresh banger for you this morning. This one landed in my inbox yesterday. I believe it was yesterday or Friday. I'm not too sure. One of those two. This one goes by the name of He's Not Into You. This one is the radio edit of Any. And when I say Any, I don't mean A-N-Y, I mean E-double-N-Y. That's how we're doing it this morning. Let's get into this one then. Out to all the locked in crew this morning. We're going to be jumping onto the phone with Deyah in around 10 minutes or so. Just gone 20 past 10 here on KUBCAM TV. New listeners, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and let us know how you're feeling. Oh yes.
I've been saving you for friendly days and rainy days to make me think like there's a place inside the heart, because the one I really want has got eyes for another girl, pines for another girl, wine and dines and books flights for another girl. My friends think it's pathetic, but see I think it's prophetic. So unless there is a wedding, then there's still a chance. Maybe she will F him over and I'll fix his heart. Like maybe it's already over over and it's just the start of the end. And I'll pretend to be your friend and be your shoulder you can lean on while I'm trying to let you into all the places that I've been inside you. If you saw what I do, then you probably vibe too. Look at me like I do. And I know it's sounding stupid cause the more I say it, and this song is sounding foolish cause the more I play it. I put myself in a position, think I need an intermission. When you ever gonna understand, you just ain't that into you. Yeah. Yeah. He just ain't that into you. He just ain't that into you. He might be into girls or dudes and Nike shoes, but he just ain't that into you. Ooh, that's a total burn. You went from I don't really like you right to trying to fight the urge. Like, isn't it ironic?
Out to Corey in the chat. How are you doing this morning?
He wanted.
Where are you listening in from?
Hey, but the
Evening.
You ain't though you're steady building courage to make it known how you feel, cause you know that it's real. Like you know you can build, so you're keeping it real. Now you heard in his area code he's got and stacked 4 figures a week from selling. And keeps a couple shooters like he's down with risky roads, and still has some time to buy another girl a road. I ain't one to ever point saint from a sinner. Lesson number 1's learn you cannot change it. Lesson number 2, sis, let me tell you, always put you before a dude. This just ain't that into you. He just ain't that into you. Yeah.
Fantastic flavours on this one. Any, he's not that into you. Good morning, Levs. How are you doing this morning, sir? How are things out your way? This one coming from Any. He's not into you. Really, really cool, smooth tune. Evening? Evening, gents. Listening in from the UK. Fair enough. I won't lie, I didn't get to sleep this morning till around, I think I got to sleep at around 6ish. Just could not get my eyes closed. Don't know why. It was one of those mornings. You know when you get that, when it's everything's just, you can't, your brain doesn't process like it is now. Purely, I don't know why, I just couldn't sleep last night. Like, properly just would not go. You know when you feel yourself like clicking and going. But yeah, like it, yeah, not nice at all. Anyway, let's crack on with a final bit of news then, before we get into today's interviews. A new Netflix series set in Ibiza called White Lines is coming out this month. It tells a dark comedic story about the body of a legendary Manchester DJ being found 2 decades on from his mysterious disappearance in Ibiza, and his sister's arrival on the White Isle looking for answers, which take her on a wild ride through the underbelly of the Spanish island. I thought it was going to be all about raving, but there we go. The series is created by Alex Pina, who was from Money Heist, and stars Laura Haddock, Marta Milans, Juan Diego Boto, Nuno Lopez, Daniel Mays, Angela Gray, and Lawrence Fox. It's out on May 15th. Everything's happening on May 15th. Brilliant. Everything's going to be kicking off from this Friday. It gives me loads of stuff to watch. You know what I really want to try and watch, which I never have done? Chat, please give me some answers on this, whether I should or should not watch it. Peaky Blinders. I've been told by multiple people that it's something I would really, really enjoy. And I've never seen it. I've tried the first episode and I couldn't get into it. Should I persist with it? Let me know if I should persist with Peaky Blinders. Is it something I should invest time into? I like the majority of the lead cast. I like, realistically, the sort of period element of it. I just want to know, should I pursue it? Should I kick on and try to make myself enjoy it? Because there's been a few series I've tried and I've just not been able to get into. The Wire being one. I tried the whole first series. I got told the first series was admin, which did make me laugh a little bit. But yeah, I got told the whole first series was admin, wasn't able to get into it, and then watched the first series, and it was all admin. I tried the second series, and I just couldn't. You know what I mean? I just really, really couldn't. There's a few series like that for me. I tried Ozark, and the new season of that's meant to be really, really good. I couldn't really get into that either. I don't know, maybe I just enjoy, I don't know, super action basic telly. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I won't lie, I'm feeling a little bit weird since yesterday, since watching Requiem for a Dream. Has anyone seen Requiem for a Dream in the chat? Because it's kind of spun me a little bit, not just because obviously it's a bit of a weird film, but it's the setting and the tonality and the fact that everyone's kind of a little bit weird but normal at the same time. The whole thing of it just kind of froze me a little bit, to be honest with you. And it's weird when you get films like that kind of just put you on edge a little bit. I'm always a bit, I don't particularly like it. Anyway, let's move forward then. We've got some good vibes to play this morning, and you know what, we've had some unusual news over the past few days. It's been a bit confusing. No one really knows what's going on. and I want people to remain as sensible as possible. If you're listening into this show, my advice would be stay sensible. Yeah, I'm not going to get into politics anymore, but this is a message that I'm going to put out there. This one coming from Ibermar, really, really cool tune. I was spinning it all last week, and this one is a tune that I feel very, very strongly for. This one is Ibermar with Stay Positive, produced by the wonderful Stephen Marley. We're going to get into this one now. I'm going to hopefully try and get Ibermar on the show, to be honest with you, because he keeps reposting stuff. I might be able to sneak in the old DMs and go, do you want to come on the show? Which should be quite fun. Out to Lev saying, all good, bro. Hope you're keeping well. Liking the vids you're making with the channel. Keep it up. Thank you, sir. That's a really nice thing to hear. Thank you, honestly. Hopefully with some new music for you soon. And Peaky Blinders is slow to start, but trust me, keep watching. There we go. You've sold me, Levs. You've sold me. Thank you. Out to everyone locked in right now. As I said before, please do hit the subscribe button. Hit like on the video. Let's get some traction going on this one. And also, leave a little comment. Let me know where you're listening in from. Let me know who you're looking forward to this morning. Yeah, let's get into this one. Ibermar with Stay Positive. Oh, yes.
Say what you say, make me go like you off. Say what you say, make me go like you off. Can't represent the king with them, they don't sit out. He lives and bring a ain't go from the rising and the setting of the same. I rust them on and stay with the positive. No get misled, no but that's straight with the negative. We have done a lot to overcome. Yet Babylon tag along, giving the youth them alcohol with sex and gun. Rastaman, I beg you stay with the positive. No get misled, no but that's straight with the negative. We have done a lot to overcome. Yet Babylon tag along, giving the youth them alcohol with sex and gun. Alright, if you want no ancient, see me tell you where you want. Rastaman want you. I been give man a blowy palm. And if them this see I me ready for turn it on. With word, power and sound. Yes, I a sound alarm. I educate the youth them to come along. I teach them about repatriation. I bubble shanty, seal up your turban. Dirty Babylon, them can't call we rebel Taliban. I Rastaman, them stay with the positive. No get misled, no but that's straight with the negative. We have done a lot to overcome. Yet Babylon tag along, giving the youth them alcohol with sex and gun. Rastaman, I beg you stay with the positive. No get misled, no but that's straight with the negative. We have done a lot to overcome. Yet Babylon tag along, giving the youth them alcohol with sex and gun. Alright, and it was clear from the beginning, say no for them no real. I many been caught up in a corruption, so them still. Them own a flesh and blood, them want to fight for the meal against the wolves and sheep clothing shall reveal. I get some mind control fi capture our offspring. Pan finger me no want fi see no more gonna spin. Ragamuffin you no see them lose it. Emmanuel and Marcus Caffey teach. Alright, I beg you stay with the positive. No get misled, no but that's straight with the negative. We have done a lot to overcome. Yet Babylon tag along, giving the youth them alcohol with sex and gun. Rastaman, I beg you stay with the positive. No get misled, no but that's straight with the negative. We have done a lot to overcome. Yet Babylon tag along, giving the youth them alcohol with sex and gun. Rastafari kiss my only vision. Them can't lock we in a no prison. Alright, and if I'm wrong to sing this song, I come along to try where I am. Bubba Shanti, seal up your turban. I guess we don't want to do no wrong. Yes, Ethiopians. Alright, me say them can't call we rebel Taliban. Alright, I beg you stay with the positive. No get misled, no but that's straight with the negative. We have done a lot to overcome. Yet Babylon tag along, giving the youth them alcohol with sex and gun. Rastaman, I beg you stay with the positive. No get misled, no but that's straight with the negative. We have done a lot to overcome. Babylon tag along, giving the youth them alcohol with sex and gun. Whoa, yeah, whoa, stay with the positive. No bad straight with the negative. No do no wrong. I tell you, ancient Rastaman.
All right then, friends, we are back on Cub Cam TV. How is everyone doing this morning? Out to the locked in crew as per. Out to those listening back via the podcast, of course, which you can check via searching Breakfast with KXVU, the interviews on all streaming platforms and sound platforms in general. This morning we are joined by our very first guest, Deyah. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, thank you. And how are you?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, I'm in one of these situations again where I seem to have had next to no sleep and have woken up early. But you know what? People don't like to hear about people not sleeping, do they?
Apparently not, no.
Yeah. I always find it to be a thing of like, I didn't sleep last night. Suddenly the eyebrows are going up, going, oh really, that whole thing again.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, like, obviously, thanks for jumping on the line. As I was saying off air a second ago, your stuff landed in my inbox, and I thought, you know what, this is one I'm going to have to do like a real reach out and try and get involved with, because I heard the sound you were putting together, and there was some amazing sounds being thrown together. Like, how long have you been making music now?
So I started when I was quite young, but I didn't really take it seriously. So I was about 15 and I used to perform in the town centres and stuff, but it wasn't really like something I wanted to do. It was just like a hobby. So I'd say that officially and properly when I started to respect music was probably about only 2 years ago.
Okay, so you're still like quite, I don't want to say early in the process, but you're moderately like early in the sort of like, right, I'm going to knuckle down and crack on with this sort of process.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was literally, 2018, middle of 2018, that I was like, okay, I actually want to do this. So I stopped messing around and I actually focused.
Sick. So what do you think the thing was that kind of changed your perspective on things?
Do you know what? I think it's when other artists started taking me seriously. I released music and stuff and put Instagram freestyles and whatever, but I think that, you know, if I'm honest, I think the main point is when Lily Allen messaged me and said, come to the studio, and I was like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, come to the studio, and that's when I thought, oh, hang on, I'm actually looked at as an artist. Do you know what I mean? I'm actually looked at as a serious artist, and then that's what made me think, okay, yeah, let me try.
I mean, that's quite mad. Can we kind of dive into this then? So did she message you out of the blue?
Kind of and kind of not. It's a really weird story. There was an event going on called Girls I Rate. It's like a female empowerment type of thing. And basically you just had to send your music in. They would choose 3 people that they really rated, and then they'd kind of support you for however long the contract was for. So I didn't make the cut, but I was invited still. I think everyone was invited who sent anything anyway. And she was there, but I didn't meet her. I didn't see her, didn't come across her. She wasn't even in the section that I was in. I was in the hip hop section. She was in the pop section. Next thing I know, I'm home. 2 days later, I'm getting messages from her on my Twitter and my Instagram. And so I was a bit like, where was the connection? Where did you see me? I didn't, still to this day, I actually don't know how that happened. And then we ended up in the studio together, and it was just random.
That's an absolute madness, man. I mean, what was going through your mind when you kind of looked around and then you suddenly realised, right, I'm in a room with Lily Allen here, one of the biggest kind of, I don't want to say pop stars, but kind of realistically female vocalists in the country. Like how did that feel?
Weird. It was weird because, do you know what, when I was younger, I remember being on the back of the bus to school when I was about 11, and I was listening to, she's one of my favourite artists, and I remember saying, do you know what, if there's anyone I would like to collaborate with, it would be Lily Allen. But that was just me talking in my head when I was younger. So when I was in the studio with her and I was just looking at her, I was like, do you know what, this is mad. This is actually mad. But she's so cool and just normal that she just makes it normal. Do you know what I mean? She just makes it a natural vibe. So I wasn't starstruck per se. She doesn't allow that to happen. She just chills with you like you're some friend that she's known for time. That must be really, really, well, must have been a really enjoyable experience. More than anything else. Like, so how long were you kind of in studio with her? Was it like an extended thing where you'd go back multiple times, or was it just the one session? So we actually managed to hash the song out in one day. Literally, she brought in a guy on the drums, a guy with the guitar. We put everything together. And when I went home, they sent me the song, and I listened back to my verse, and I was like, I don't like it. I really don't like my verse. I really want to redo it. So they were waiting for me to redo it, and I ended up getting caught up. It sounds mad, but I ended up getting caught up with so many things that I didn't get back to them in time. So she was like, do you know what? Let's just make a whole new song. You let me know when you're free. I'll let you know when I'm free. We'll just make up a whole new song. So that's that first song we did is kind of in limbo. It's there, but I'm not too confident with my verse.
Okay, like so how do you find that to be a thing often then? Like how often do you tend to find you collaborate in general?
Do you know what? Not that much, especially as I find a lot of artists like to work in the same studio together. I actually struggle with that. I prefer to write on my own, which proves difficult because I guess the whole beauty of creating with someone is being with them in the room and doing it organically. But I actually prefer to write on my own at home and then come in and do my verse. So collaborations haven't always been easy for me because a lot of artists do prefer me to come into studio. So it's trying to find the middle ground of I'll come into studio, but I'm going to pre-write a little bit and I'll bring what I can and then I'll write more with you and collaborate with you in that way. So
more than anything, it was, for you personally, you were finding it was complicating the process more than anything else?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say it's completely different, I guess, writing methods. But do you know what? At the same time, one thing with this whole lockdown situation is with the collaborations, now we can't go studio together. So I'm finding artists are sending me songs and I'm actually able to write at home and do my bit at home and then send it off and there's no issue or complications. So this is kind of working out for me a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, because obviously when I was looking through your kind of like discography, I wasn't noticing many collaborations popping up, and I kind of got the impression when I was listening through stuff, you're someone who's quite particular about more than anything else, the kind of compositional element of things, like how stuff sits in a tune.
Yeah, I'd say so. I wanted to make sure that before I collaborate loads or start working with others, that I have my own sound established, that people know what my sound is. So I find sometimes you can collaborate and you can get brought into someone else's sound. I wouldn't say a bit too much, but then your kind of identity or your sound is lost. So a lot of the collaborations I have are pending. Like I did one with Manda St. Hilaire and Etta Bond, but then again the sounds just works, but there are some collaborations I get through and I'm like, well, I don't actually think this is going to merge too well. So yeah,
definitely, man. I think picking and choosing the collaborations is something that is very important, especially to an artist who has a unique sound, like a really unique sound such as yourself. It's quite easy to kind of get the lines blurred with what you're trying to do compared to what they're trying to do. There's obviously a lot of compromise when it comes to collaboration as well. So I think, especially as it's still, I don't want to say early days because it's not, I wouldn't really call it early days, but it's still like moderately like fresh, your kind of sound and your kind of approach. I definitely say it's probably a good idea not to be doing that many collaborations until people know exactly what you're about.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, just to establish myself first, and then when collaborations arise, then we'll see.
Wicked, man. Well, that's good to hear. We're going to jump into the first track of today's listening now. This one goes by the name of SYS. Talk me through this one. How did this one come together?
So it actually started as a freestyle. It was a minute. The first minute of it was just a freestyle I was going to put on Instagram. And then when I went back to it, I thought, you know what? I could actually make this into a full tune. So when you listen to it, it kind of seems a bit random in terms of the content because it was originally a freestyle. There isn't really a story to it, but SYS stands for shoot your shots. It's basically about taking chances in life and not being lazy about it, I guess.
Okay, wicked. Well, we're going to get into this one now then. We're live on KUP TV. Don't go anywhere. We're live on the line with Deyah.
Hey, Shebi, you say you want to be in a relationship, eh? What is all this shakara wahala, this nonsense of Tinder and Bumble and you swipe left, swipe right? I don't understand. In my day, if you like somebody, you tell them I like you, eh? They like you back. You get married, you have baby, you move on with your life. What is the problem? This thing is too complicated. Nonsense. If you want to talk, then better be exciting. That's good. Round of applause if you too grown to be fighting. That's good. Straight out blows my feels with all of this lighting. That's good. I got enough bros, need a brother who I'ma call my team. That's good. Shoot your shot or be a guest at my wedding. 3.5
5 billion guys see you telling. Die in my shell, come alive when I'm shelling. And I'm cautious with love, but the brother just fell in. Paul said I'm running through his mind athletics. Awkward enough when I give my ex credit. I'm a fraud with my trust, cause I never let it set in. Floor cause I clutch onto her, yes I did. Broad on my ones doesn't work, yes I did. Storm in the sun is a perk, don't forget it. And I tore up his vest and his shirt, then I legged it. Called up his mom, I'ma run before I beg it. Let's chat about your ego. I once fed it, you were my hero, man, what a legend. And I'm trying to gain kilos, that's been a threat. Trying to see zeros, 4 from the second, 2 from the first, that's a bag that I hold. To do is to work, but they brag on the loan. If you're broken alone, then we in the same boat. I pray backstage, put your hands in the fold. Bear man shy, you're the one with cojones. Courage from the Dutch, speak soft with a soda. I still chat bear, yappy gal, yucky sober. Waka mama, I'm the mama in your rover. If you wanna talk, then it better be something exciting. That's good. Round of applause if you too grown to be fighting. That's good. Stranded at pose, my feels with all of this lighting. That's good. I got enough bros, need a brother who I'ma call my team. That's good. I never had the heart to break hearts without cause. Even if the cause worked according to yours, I was careful. Back on the stairwell, used to give the oldest uppercuts, cause I cared more, I shared more. Early dinner, late lunch, had to kid. She fly straight out to Kettering. Police on my door, never let him in. I know nothing, I ain't meddling. And I was scared city for a winter break. We call it shared city cause we end the pain. Forgiveness ain't a question, it's intention. Hold the poison, my discretion is prevention. Let it hit the brain. Shower me with courage when I'm in the rain. I will take my luggage when I hit the train. I can't be discouraged if I run my lane. If I place that, then we'll go again.
My sister, it's not about the place that you have placed. It's about the race that you have raced. Because you are part of the race, you are part of it now. You can be 10th place, 1st place, 28th place, but you are in the race. Why are you rushing? I don't understand these people of this generation. I don't understand.
Right then, we are live on Cubcam TV. How are we doing this morning? We are joined by Deyah right about now on the phone. That one going by the name of SYS, and that one is coming off the Care City project. I want to talk through this project, how it came together, like the kind of general layout of things. Obviously, it's quite long for. Would you class this as an LP or an EP?
Oh, see, this is the debate. Some people are calling it LP, some people are calling it EP. I just let people call it what they want to call it.
Okay,
I personally don't know.
I mean, everything about it looks really good. I mean, and when I'm kind of looking through the layout of it as a project, I feel this is a kind of perfect statement for what you're doing as an artist.
Oh, thank you very much. I think it's definitely me. I think a lot of music I've released before I've been influenced a bit too much, but this is just me through and through with no influence whatsoever. So yeah,
sick. I think I'm like just to kind of get a bit of overview on it as well. Like, how would you describe your sound?
I
love these questions.
I find that to be such a difficult question. Do you know what? I just say I'm a conscious rapper. I'm an 80% rapper, 20% singer, and I'm a conscious rapper. Do you know what? I don't know. What would you describe my sound as? I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I think I'd describe it as to an extent introspective R&B to a point.
Oh, I love that. I actually might take that. Okay.
It's all yours. You can coin it. It's all yours.
Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just think with a lot of the sort of sound you're using, obviously you're using quite a few like chord structures and things that are, I would describe as moody. That would be the best. That would be like the first kind of adjective I'd use to describe it sonically. And then you're obviously, as you said, you're primarily a rapper, which kind of works in the way you're combining kind of moody beats essentially with kind of introspective lyricism. It's quite easy to an extent to get that twisted on a first listen, but when you actually listen through, it is quite introspective and it is quite conscious, a lot of what you're writing, rather than just being gloomy. It's introspective, which is what makes it quite an interesting listen. And also the kind of choice of instrumentals you use, like in that sort of production process, like how many people are involved in that?
I'd say about 4.
Okay.
Four different producers. Yeah, I'd say so. I think.
Okay, cool. So, like, what do you look for in an instrumental?
I just like something slightly different and moody, just how you use the word moody there. I like something that has something to it. So even if I said very little, there's still a feeling from the instrumental. But when I look for instrumentals or beats, I have to feel an emotion attached to it. Otherwise, I can't really use it. So that's how I kind of go about the selection process.
Okay, sweet. I mean, and you can definitely feel that there's such a cohesive kind of gel, I'd say, between everything on the project. And after listening through it, like start to finish, again, as I said, I think it's a really good statement for yourself, and I do think it's a very good way of kind of introducing yourself to people who may not have heard your sound before. Like, how long did the project take to put together?
So I didn't actually intend to even create a project. I just recorded a whole bunch of songs. I must have recorded over 100, 150 songs. And what I do is every week I listen back to the songs I've recorded of that week. And I just remember listening back to these particular tracks and thinking, do you know what? This actually makes sense to come together. And then, I listened to it again from start to finish, and I thought, this could be a project. So there wasn't really much planning behind it, if I'm honest.
Okay, sweet. And I mean, to be honest, it's almost like a bit of a happy accident then, to an extent.
Yeah, I guess that's, you could call it a happy accident. Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, it's, as I said before, it's a very enjoyable project. And again, actually, one of the few projects I would actually recommend anyone listening who wants to go and listen to it, I'd recommend listening to it from start to finish, because I feel that's how you get the full overview. Even though it wasn't designed to be a project originally, I do definitely feel that kind of overall listening perspective, if you listen to it start to finish, does give you a really good picture into yourself as an artist. So again, well done on creating a fantastic body of work.
Thank you very much. And actually, as you said that, I was just thinking, although it wasn't planned, the order of the songs was planned. So it's good that you feel to listen to it from start to finish, because that's how the sort of story or documentation makes sense if you listen to it from beginning to end. So thank you very much.
There we go. Let's jump into the next one from today's listing then. This one goes by the name of Chow. Again, talk to me about this one. What are the themes behind this one?
Chow is literally just a documentation of some really grim times that I had last year. It talks about addiction, it talks about heartache, it talks about loss. It's literally me trying to sum up a whole year in like 3 minutes of a track.
Okay, well, we're going to get into this one now then. It's just gone 12 minutes to 11 here on KUP TV. One time, what is the best social media tag for people to get you on?
I am Deyah. I am, and then Deyah, Deyah.
Good stuff. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're live on KUP TV. It's Brekky In The Cave. We have Deyah on the line with myself, Kovu. Oh, yes.
So, admittedly, I kind of lost my mind slightly in for a duration of like, I don't know, 6-7 months. I didn't really know what I was doing. I couldn't even tell you where I was half the time. But people they're very quick to judge, but listen, you know, like we're all one step away from losing our minds. If you haven't lost it already, that is. So, don't judge, yeah. There's so much stress on my brain. I feel to do a Corbin. My heart is broken, not sprained. Ain't fighting WWF, I'm fighting myself, look no Dwayne. Told the dealer I don't do cocaine, but if you got something, I'll pay to feel nothing. I'll give you a bag for this pain, yeah. I went to rehab again. Same old tale, different day. Same old L, different face. Same old fail, different name, yeah. Therapist on my line told me to wait is okay, yeah. That there's a specialist, ain't no elephant when we come up in the place, yeah. I'll never stop talking, I hope that you know. My ex didn't love me, he quit on my lows. I covered his heart with a blanket of gold. He wanted plutonium, who wants plutonium? When you got someone who springs like a rose, grooved in the concrete and buried in stone. A diamond who's mine into years to the code. I gave you devotion, you gave me a rope. As soon as you saw I was switching up, you brought up the past, started digging up. I needed your arms, not your lessons and senses. I needed your calm in the storm, not your terror. Brought up some qualms and you moved with defenses. I thought that you cared regardless, but brother, you didn't see hope in my mind getting better. That time that we spoke hurt me more than I let up. That's facts and that's true. 15, I shiver the funds. A 30 on PH and bud. Wise where I move with a rush. I handle my stuff. I call up my brother with love. I need to hit up the buzz. Meet me in 20, I'm empty, I'll fill up the truck. Power up the plug, I'm covered in cigarette butts. I'm covered in liquor cups. I'm smothered in nothing but love. But that's a delusion, I promised around for a hug. Sweep my soul under the rug. This crack of confusion has almost brought me to the dust. I'm a mug, if I'm gonna settle for lukewarm, I need to get out of this mute bomb. I needed my man, but he took off. I needed a plan, but was hooked on. Opened the tab at the old swan. Had about 50 in cash and some debit. I stashed just in case I got cooked on. He spit on my name like the shook ones. And following pops on a shook one. I had to give up the good gun. No gun is good, that's a hood sum. Yeah, I wish you understood, son. The church seemed to lose all like good ones. I left in June cause of crook ones. They lied on my name like I took sign. Silence myself cause I know me. Backed in a corner, don't hold me. I would've hijacked your live stream and told all the viewers your slide street.
There we go. That one going by the name of Chow. Deyah is on the line. It's been a wicked conversation this morning. I've really, really enjoyed this one so far. Really interesting to hear about how you describe your sound as well, and how and your kind of like the kind of influences that are clearly involved. Would you describe yourself as quite introspective?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, actually, I think. Do you know what? I'm glad you said this word now because it's a word I forgot existed. I'm going to be using it like every day. Yeah, I would say I am. I would definitely say I am for sure.
Wicked. I mean, it's very kind of clear in the lyricism you use and the kind of structure you put into things. Obviously, the kind of beauty of this kind of sound that you put together is it's sonically very pleasing, but there is also a level of lyricism involved with things that does kind of add the extra layer if you're listening for it. So it's almost like a genre within itself where you can apply it to different levels of listener, which is a really good thing to have. I want to kind of, obviously we've only got a few minutes left because we're keeping these interviews quite concise, and obviously we don't want to rattle on for ages and just talk about nothing because what's the point in that? We want to kind of keep it concise. So like, what I want to kind of find out what's on the way for yourself, like what's happening in the future.
So like we talked about before with collaborations, that's something I'm working on now during this lockdown. So I guess the release will be towards the end of the year or like autumn kind of times. Performances wise, I did have a lot of performances booked, so it's do you know what, it's all very much dependent on this lockdown. There were quite a few gigs I had in store, potentially being a support act for some artists as well. So I think at the moment I'd say just releasing music and working on these collaborations is what I'm going to be aiming to do.
Sick. I mean, like in regards to sort of like creative processing and stuff like that, I mean, do you record from home?
Yes, yeah, okay. Always.
That's, I mean, that must mean realistically in this time then, it must be quite cool to kind of have that, to an extent, obviously it's a difficult time, but it must have been quite like a relief, I suppose, to be in a position where you can kind of still record.
Yeah, this is the thing, I didn't realise how blessed I was. It was on Instagram where I'd recently done an interview on Beats One, and people had said afterwards, like, oh, you're so blessed to have stuff at home to record with. And I thought, maybe me being naive or ignorant, I thought that most artists would, because I mean, my microphone's about £50. It's not nothing too flashy. So I thought, wow, okay, so there are actually people who can't record at all until whenever this stuff, dies down a little bit. So yeah, I'm mad grateful to be able to have that at my house.
Definitely, man. I think it's I think more than anything, I think we are going to see a big yield of lockdown music, shall we say. I think that will be popping out into stores over the next in about 3 months. I think we'll be seeing a lot of the stuff that's been scheduled in during this time to drop like at a later date. I mean, and that's one of the few pluses of this scenario. I feel we are going to get some very good music out of it. So yeah, we're gonna finish up by playing Planet X. This is the last track on today's listing. Again, thank you for jumping on the line. What else is on the way for yourself then?
I think I've got a few visuals I have filmed in December, so I've got a couple of things to drop from there. And I'm looking at dropping some merch as well. So I'm kind of just trying to work myself around the music, not just the music, but other aspects to it as well.
I think that's good, man. I think that's good. And I think with your sort of sound as well, I think that kind of branding element, to an extent as well, is going to be quite a crucial thing for you. Kind of hitting the right note, should we say?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's definitely something that this lockdown has given me food for thought for. So yeah, for sure.
Definitely. All right, let's get into the last track then. This is Planet X. Talk to me about this one.
Planet X is literally me basically saying I'm on a different planet and I want you to leave me alone whilst I sort my stuff out. I'll come back to Earth when I'm ready, but for now, I'm chilling on Planet X, basically.
Cool. That's cool, man. Okay, cool. One more time, what is the best social media tag for people to find you on across different platforms?
Across the board, it's I am Deyah, I am, and then DEYAH.
Wicked, man. Well, as I said before, thanks for jumping on the line. Hopefully we'll speak again soon. And as I said before, please do keep sending music over. It's really, really cool to see more than anything, to see the progression. And I'm really keen to see where the sound at your end goes more than anything else.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries at all, guys. Remember, if you are listening in live, you can listen back to these interviews via the Breakfast with KXVU podcast. All you need to do is go on to any streaming platform of your choice and pretty much type in Breakfast with KXVU, the interviews. It's available on Apple Music, Spotify, and SoundCloud, and that'll be up at around 12:30, just as the show, about an hour after the show finishes. We try to get things up nice and quick time more than anything else. So let's get into this one. Deyah with Planet X, and we'll be on the line with Gemi in around 5 minutes or so.
I don't need the pressure, temporary pleasure. Permanent regrettable, it just makes you feel better. Ain't tryna be flawless, still with my fortress. Privacy and inner peace, wish that I won't forfeit. Then I will be alright. Wishing on some new heights. Ain't got itch to prove I wanna keep the crew tight, but never let the crew ride. Contradiction, premonition, don't know what to do. But I'm gonna be alright. I'm on my new ways, girls. Wish the girls outside. Yeah, I'm gonna be alright. I don't need you to call me. I'm fine on my own. I'll be alright. I'm taking some time. We just fine. I'll be alright. I don't need all your questions. I'm holding some blessings. I know how my heart feels. Know how my heart heals. I don't make little things into big deals. I hit deals. Heart is on ice. Need some fight free. This chill. I miss my ex, but can't stress over no. I'm alright. Wishing on some new highs. Ain't got itch to prove I wanna keep the crew tight, but never let the crew ride. Contradiction, premonition, don't know what to do. But I'm gonna be alright. I'm on my new ways, girls. Wish the girls outside. Yeah, I'm gonna be alright. I don't need you to call me. I'm fine on my own. I'll be alright. I'm taking some time. We just fine. I'll be alright. I don't need all your questions. I'm holding some blessings. I'm weak, jarring on weekdays, and my weekends just seem harder. And my free days and my bleak days, and the first 3 days of my hardest. I don't hit the ground, just show off gums. Couldn't give a darn by the market. I don't FaceTime, my FaceTime is the time I face what I've harnessed. Don't kill my vibe. I've already survived that war when they killed inside. I'ma kill my pride. It's an unwanted guess like the test when I wrestle with my vice. I just need my time. It's too much drama, I clock. Sink in the sand or stand on a rock. Go get yours and my hand on my crop. Reap what I've sown, so I rep RG12. Burn out the CF, I don't rate the BS. Nah, this ain't a postcode war, but you lot don't support and I ain't tryna be next. Nah, I don't buy full price crepes, take 10 euro steps in my Barcelona replicas. Got a couple Louis for the flex, 20 euros of respect for my brothers from Senegal. I ain't gonna pay full price, and 8.27 per hour, so I vet my gums. I don't need a handout, labels put their hands out to shake, but now I protect my palms. I'm a reject, but now they see sense too late, cause I'm busy still rejecting harm. Cool, ain't trying to upset the calm. 2-2s, man, I come to store my psalm. I bruise, but I heal. I'm cute, but I feel I'm broken, baby. Give me glue on the rail. Give me tunes in a mill. In fact, just leave me alone.
Wicked sounds on that one, coming from Deyah with Planet X. Massive shouts out to her for jumping on the line for the last half an hour. Do go and check her out. I am Deyah on all social media platforms. She's got some amazing music on the way. And yeah, really, really cool artist. Another very, very enjoyable interview this morning. But we're moving on to our second one now. It's UKG flavours all the way through till the end of the show now. Gemi joins us on the line. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Hello, I'm doing absolutely brilliant. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's good to speak to you. Obviously, we actually only started speaking very, very recently via Instagram off the back of the KIWI KUP.
Yes, we did actually. That's all been quite a good. That's all been quite a good, nice little adventure. That I've kind of met a few amount of people from that, because it seems like everything's done a bit like quite well with the whole competition.
Yeah, I mean, the general kind of feeling of things is, it's the general feeling with Kiwi, isn't it? There seems to be this kind of thing of it re-injecting, shall we say, a bit of life into garage and giving it a bit of direction and a bit of a mood, shall we say. I just want to say in the chat as well, we are muting the mic while songs are playing, just so we're not talking over the songs, so people can enjoy the tracks as they play. But there we go. Let's get into this conversation then. Gemi is on the line. Talk to me about yourself. When did you first start getting involved in making music?
So I've been making music since I was like just before my 12th birthday. So that would be like June-ish, like 2012, I think.
Wow.
But I was the 12-year-old kid that found the UKF dubstep tutorials and stuff like back in the day, and I used to I started off by making proper American style kind of electronic heavy bass music and stuff. But I think just as the time's gone on over the past 8 years or whatever it is now, everything's just kind of merged and morphed and kind of gone all over the place. And so I went from doing all that stuff. I did a load of dubstep and that kind of all of that kind of scene. I went over to making more kind of experimental stuff, and it's quite because the Gemi project's only been running since the end of May last year, which was essentially I basically just had this manic period. And then by the end of it, I just came out of it going, I just want to make music you can dance to. Yeah. And then it all kind of emerged from there.
Okay. So you're obviously your journey then, you really have kind of explored a lot of should we say the in sounds. A lot of the sounds of the time, obviously with that Americanized dubstep sort of sound, they're moving into the more experiment. There was a period, I think, from sort of 2012 to 2013 where no one really had a clue what was going on with UK dance music, and I remember it quite clearly. There was a lot of kind of catering artery stuff was popping up. There was a lot of should we say SoundCloud EDM. That was a big thing at that period of time as well.
I was quite involved with the scene in 2015, 2016. That's where most of my stuff kind of emerged beforehand. So I've got many opinions on the whole SoundCloud scene and all of that stuff. It's a very wide kind of topic with a lot of ins and outs in it.
Definitely, man. I mean, it's cool to see though, and obviously then to see how your sounds then advanced into where you are now. So what was would you say when you say you wanted to make music for that people could dance to? Was that the moment you kind of went, right, I'm making garage, or were there other sort of experiments beforehand?
Well, it actually started off, I mainly was I'm going to start making, because it's funny to say, but, I think I didn't properly make the connection between, the new UKG stuff and the old school stuff, because I'd always heard of garage before, but I just assumed the new school stuff was I used to just call it, basically 135 BPM house. So I literally I just didn't make the connection. Even though I'd be in scenarios where it would just I'd still listen to kind of old school garage mixes and stuff like that. But yeah, no, and it was through kind of discovering all the Kiwi guys that I realised I was oh, this is I've just been calling it 135 BPM house like an absolute moron. Just to interject, sorry, when you say you were calling it that, does that mean that's what it was being tagged as on SoundCloud and stuff like that? I was just tagging it as house. Okay. And then kind of because it was because I think my distinction was I thought that anything with a 4/4 beat was house, which is just not the case. Yeah. And I just thought anything with a 2-step beat was garage. That's how I used to kind of define it. But I've kind of realised that it's a lot more intricate than that. But I think it's always been a staple because it's always been the one thing that like when I've practiced like DJing and stuff, it's sort of been the kind of like the backbone. Like I've always kind of DJed that kind of stuff when I've been learning. So I think it was just a natural progression for me to essentially go from making this weird and wacky experimental music to go like, I wanted to actually start making stuff that like I liked and like everyone else kind of was liking, because the old stuff, it was very like listening music.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very sort of like danceable stuff. You wouldn't sit back and like listen to one of my old tunes and go like, oh yes, I could actually like dance to this. It was very kind of, you sit back and go, yes, I understand what's going on here.
I mean, it's sick to see, and as well, I get the impression already from talking to you that you are someone who likes to kind of almost to an extent look into the psychology of the sound you're making, like what it will make people do.
Yeah, like I like to sort of, I don't know how to, I like to just home in on the sort of the ideas within it all, I guess. Like it's just a way to sort of, I want my stuff to kind of like evoke like a certain kind of feeling. I'm very much in the thing of like, just get that, like that thing of people kind of like moving and get people actually kind of like, I don't know. It's an odd one to try and explain.
Yeah, I think I know the feeling though. It's almost like transferring the energy out of what you're making into other people and making them feel it properly. It is a weird thing to describe, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, the progression's been kind of cool. Obviously, you're now in a position, I'd say, where within that sort of garage scene now, people are really starting to take notice of what you're doing. And you're putting out some really cool sounds. Obviously, we're going to jump into some of the music you sent over today as well, and it's really exciting as well. I want to say out to everyone in the chat this morning, out to Corey, out to Levs, out to Know You, out to Niam. Is it Niam or is it Nima? I'm not too sure how you pronounce that, but I think it's Niam. But yeah, loads of people basically joining to talk to Gemi, so there we go. Let's jump into this first tune then that's on today's selections. This one goes by the name, I believe, of Lemon, unless I'm very much mistaken.
Yes, that is.
Goes by the name of Lemon. So we're going to get into this one now then. Talk to me about this tune. What's happening with it? Is it an exclusive? Let's go.
So this is an exclusive. There's hopefully a project in the works, a full EP with, because this is a tune I'm doing with a brilliant producer called Luxury. He's an amazing guy. He's done he's really kind of pioneering with the whole more experimental side of dance music. Like his stuff's like super cool. I really took massive inspiration from him when I first started Gemi. So it's quite a privilege to be working on stuff with him. But it should be, hopefully the tune should be coming out soon. But yeah, we've got a whole EP together, and it should be quite good. But yeah, that was I think this was the first tune that we worked on. So yeah.
Wicked, man, wicked. As well, in the chat, Neve, thanks for explaining that. Thanks for letting me know how to pronounce it. I'm really bad with pronouncing names. I do apologise. But there we go. We're going to jump into this one now then. This one going by the name of Lemon. We are live on the line with Gemi. Don't go anywhere, friends. That's where we are this morning. I'm losing track of how to speak. We're live on the line with Gemi. Don't go anywhere. It's Brekky in the Cave. Myself, Kovu, in the hot seat. Oh, yes. Right then, friends, we are live on Cubcam TV. This one, beautiful in the background from Man Like Gemi. This one going by the name of Lemon. We're going to leave that one running very quietly in the background. Let me just check my levels to see that one is running nice and quietly. There we go. Nice bit of background sound. Beautiful music from Gemi. Like, compositionally, like, you, especially with the sort of stuff you're making most recently, there seems to be so much colour in what you're doing. Like, has that always been the case? Well, not always, but obviously, but since you've been making 135 House.
That's gonna hold me forever now. It's I think it's definitely it's probably like one of the things that's transferred from the old like experimental music that I've done. I think a lot of that is kind of because it's what's funny is it's sort of like it had a lot of elements. The stuff that I was doing beforehand had a lot of elements of kind of like the garage sound and things, and so it's been very easy to transfer over. So I feel like maybe this is just me. Maybe all my mates and stuff and the people that listen to my music will tell me that this is absolutely rubbish. But I feel like that's kind of been drawn from there, and I've kind of always, I guess, been drawn towards that kind of like sound and feel to all my tunes and stuff.
Wicked, man. Well, it's sick to hear it. It's definitely something that does kind of transcend really, really nicely across different genres of music as well. I'm finding a lot of this sort of new wave of garage is actually applicable in a lot of different areas. You know, it's not just like you can only play this in a garage set that you'll find with a lot of like modern bass music or a lot of like modern dubstep or whatever. You'll find a lot of it can only be played in a certain scenario, but this can be kind of sprung across garage sets, funky sets to an extent, house sets, like deep house sets. You can hear stuff like this being dropped in and out, and it's sick to see. Like, do you ever think about how many places a track could get played when you're building it?
I think it's a two-way street. I think because like it's very sort of, I guess, well, like to answer your question, I guess it's not something you think about necessarily like to begin with, but it's like one of those things you realise afterwards where you're like, oh, this is actually kind of, this can be dropped. I think well, the funniest scenario that I saw, I literally just randomly came across this live set like the other day of this dude Moa Shop, and he does like proper like kind of, it's like future funk kind of like very kind of like Japanese influenced stuff. Like I think one of his songs was used. I don't know if you remember what's his face, Leafy, back in the day on YouTube. Like his background music, like his outro music was made by this dude, so it's very kind of like very Japanese like inspired, like future funk stuff. But I just randomly came across it. I was like, oh, I haven't heard like any of his stuff recently, and I go on and he just played Jaffa like in the set, one of my tunes, and then I was like, oh, that was like I did not expect that whatsoever. But then when you kind of stand back, you kind of realise that it is like, it's so kind of, I guess like this stuff's so versatile, it can kind of appear in so many places.
Definitely, man.
But then I think it definitely goes the other way as well, because it's so easy to slip in like those cheeky little songs in something like especially like the new UK garage scene. It's so easy to kind of like vary things up, and I think people are so open to kind of like all of these new ideas that people are being thrown, because I mean, realistically, there's not many people in the scene at the moment. Like in the grand scheme of things, like it's still early doors. Like, so I think people are a lot open to kind of like seeing all this stuff going around.
Definitely, man. I mean, the whole kind of scene is definitely at a point now where it's bubbling, shall we say? I think that's a really good way to kind of describe UK garage at the minute. It is bubbling. It's had a couple of tracks kind of make it through to the mainstream, and the underground sort of platforms below. A lot of the more sort of underground labels are pushing out consistently good content. So overall, the structure of the genre is definitely improving. One time, just for everyone locked in right now, please do make sure you are subscribing to the channel, because we're going to be doing interviews like this all week, and it's going to get even more enjoyable. The chat's very lively this morning, so it's good to see. Out to Tufu's joining this morning as well. Out to Daniel Gage in the building. Also, new people joining left, right, and centre. This is really fun. So what we're gonna do next is let's talk Kiwi. Let's talk about the KIWI KUP. It's gonna be a very enjoyable conversation. So, why did you choose the track you chose, and what track did you choose again?
So I chose Prescribe the Vibes tune Cool Today. Mainly, I went with that because I mean all the tunes. The Jack Genie tune, the Smokey Bubble B tune, all of them, like all of the ones to choose from, was sick. And I was I did kind of sit there with all the stems just kind of like in folders, just kind of looking at it for about 5 minutes before I started. But I decided eventually, in the end, to go with Cool Today, which, looking back now, like, I think because so many people ended up choosing it. I
think 7 out of 8 of the tunes that went. It was either 6 or 7 out of 8 of the tunes that went through were all Cool Today.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was only Higo's remix of "Tell Me" that was like different.
Yeah.
I think it was probably just because like there's so much potential, because I think Prescribe actually the stems for that tune, there was so many, like there was so much stuff to work with, and there was so many like ideas you could take it down. And I mean I personally I just absolutely adore his music, like all of the stuff that he does. So I thought I'd best go down that route to kind of like I guess not kind of like maybe show my support. I don't know, like I wanted to kind of like go down and kind of mess with that stuff and sort of I guess just have the ability to pick apart kind of like how he makes his tunes and stuff, and then use that and sort of go ahead from there. But it was a really little fun process, because you'd drag in like a couple of samples or whatever, and then realise there's about like 5 more sitting there which are just vocals or something, and then you'd be dragging stuff in, and you'd realise there's stuff in the song that you'd never even kind of like noticed before, and then you'd go back and listen to the original Cool Today and be like, oh damn, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, so it's more than anything, it was almost like a lesson into, it was like a self-taught masterclass into how someone like Prescribe the Vibe actually produces.
Yeah, no, definitely. I could definitely agree with that.
Sick. I mean, like, kind of moving forward then, obviously, you've made it through the first round, which was, I mean, I tuned into the live stream. I was doing a bit of a, like a live report of what was going on, and that's actually how we ended up speaking. I hit you up trying to find someone, I think it was someone's on SoundCloud.
Oh, yes, I think it was Polytone, because, yeah, my mate Johnny, we actually went to college together. So I was super gassed for him when he got into the final 8.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was the only annoying thing, I couldn't find the SoundCloud literally anywhere. And then we're going through, and obviously thank you for sending that over, because obviously, I mean, it means we could get the article out bang on time. But yeah, obviously in the aftermath of it, like the live stream was really, really fun to watch. It was really well put together. The whole layout of everything was really fun. Kind of moving forward then, who do you have in the next round?
So I'm up against MPH in the next round.
Wow.
Which I'm sort of putting myself for, because the guy's an absolute master. And I mean, we've all of the guys now, we've heard each other's remixes now, because the deadline was I think like a week or 2 ago now. So everything's been finished, everything's been sent to the group chat, and I'm slightly putting myself a bit more now.
Well, you see, the funniest thing about this whole competition that I've found is obviously it's a tournament, not a clash kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like a knockout tournament rather than clashing, but it's kind of got those sort of clashy undertones to it.
Yeah, you want to see behind the scenes just the amount of crud talk that's being spoken between Drinks on Me and Higo.
I was going to say, Drinks on Me and Higo, talk to me about something that's been said.
Oh my god, it's like when we were because obviously there was a bit of a delay with it all when we all got told about that, and then Drinks on Me in the group chat was just like, oh yeah, also I think I forgot to tell you all this, but yeah, Higo's been kicked out for unknown reasons, so I go through by default. And then Higo just fired back immediately with, oh yeah, I think it got kicked out for something about getting with your missus. And it's just all this stupid kind of like talk, which is just every time that I see it is just like making me laugh so much.
Have you got engaged with the war talk at all?
I haven't. I need to. I've just been making stupid videos. Like I worked too hard on that video that went up on the KIWI Instagram page, where I was just jumping in various rooms in my house.
I mean, the thing is as well, we've had MPH on the show a couple of times, and he's such a genuinely like nice, bubbly guy as it is.
Yeah.
It must be. I mean, the whole thing of it is obviously it's very happy music. It's very kind of fun music, and then to have this kind of clash element, it's for some reason it's quite dissonant in my head.
I think it's funny because you can just tell in the group chat that like I think everyone's kind of like everyone thinks that they're kind of treading on eggshells a bit because no one wants to be too mean to each other, but at the same time we all kind of know that it's really not that deep.
It does sound fun, man. I think there is that sort of energy that goes in music in general. Whenever there's music-based competition going on, that sort, especially dance music, I'll say more than anything else, there is that element of sort of clash nature that does seem to fold into everything, and it is like it's fun, I think. And obviously, you don't take things the wrong way. It is only a bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's important to enjoy that sort of thing. But there we go, interesting stuff. So yeah, what do you think the chances are of this of making it through to the next round then, having heard the next track?
I really can't tell. I know what's funny as well is I remember that I said I was going to like do something if I got through to the next round, but I can't remember what it is, and I'm scared for the life of me now if I get around and all my mates are like, oh, you said you'd like shave your head again or something. so I'm just having to like look out for that. But no, I think like hearing all the remixes and stuff, like there's not a single bad remix. Like it's going to be close calls like all around the board. So I'm just I'm excited to see like the reception that it gets from everyone when they all come out.
Sick, man. Well, I'm excited to see what happens. Do you have a rough idea of when things are going to be dropping?
I think today is when everything's going to be starting to be kicked off again. Well, that's what I'm told anyway. But apart from that, I think so in the near, definitely like very, very soon, everything's going to be kind of like kicked back into action again. And everything's going to start up.
Wicked, man. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. We're going to get into the next tune now of today's listing. This one goes by the name of 93 Laserdome. Talk to me through this one.
So this is shameless plug here. That's the lead. That's the A side of the new single I'm dropping on the 15th of May.
Oh, fabulous!
Out on all platforms, Spotify, Bandcamp. Get them while it's hot. And that's sort of the whole thing of that was it's been the tunes that I've done for that have been sat kind of on my hard drive for ages now, and it's they both because the second one as well called Would You. The two tunes are very kind of I guess it's my attempt to kind of like a love letter to the sort of like the 90s kind of aesthetic kind of the sort of clubs and things like that, and especially 93 Laserdome, which I feel like has got that very kind of nostalgic feel to it, which is like I literally got the name from like watching like I think a documentary on Shelley's Laserdome back in the day and stuff. So it's all very kind of like doused in this kind of like 90s nostalgia, even though I was not alive for it.
I was, but I was a child, so that's really, I know very little about the 90s other than kids' TV shows that were on at the time, because that's all I did in the 90s. We're going to get into this one now then. This one, 93 Laserdome. We are live on the line with Gemi. Out to everyone locked in right about now. Please do hit that subscribe button, like the video as well. We're going to be doing interviews like this Monday to Friday. We're joined by loads of really cool UKG guests this week. So yeah, we're going to get into this one. Don't go anywhere. We're live on KUP TV. Oh yes. Fabulous stuff on this one. 93 Laserdome out this Friday. Man like Gemi is in the building this morning. How are we doing, my friend?
What's good? I'm good.
Right, so let's move on then. This one is out Friday. How long has this one been sort of scheduled in?
This one, it's been one of those ones that's been just sat on the hard drive for a bit. And I thought I'd finally get it out using the advantage of sort of everyone. I feel like everyone just needs a bit of music at the moment because no one's going anywhere, and like the more content to indulge, the better it is, I guess.
I'd agree, man. I think now more than ever is it's definitely a time now more than ever to really be, if you've got something available, now's the time to push it because more people are going to see it. It's that simple, really. Right, we've only got a couple of minutes left, so we're going to have to wrap this up moderately quickly. Just give me a quick summary of what's on the way for yourself.
Really, just music. I've not got too much planned. It's very kind of it's very kind of all over the place, but I'm hoping just to get as much stuff out as possible. If that's like actual releases, like stupid little like remixes of stuff that I'm doing, and then obviously the KIWI stuff as well. Hopefully that kind of doesn't end in a massive crash and burn in about 3 days' time or whatever.
I mean, it's sick to see though, man. And I feel even after speaking to you today, it definitely feels like you're someone who does have, even if it's a little bit scattered, you do have a bit of a plan. You have a plan of like what you want to do and where you're going. I feel.
Yeah, definitely, I'd say so.
Definitely. So we're gonna finish off with one more tune, but before that, let's have a little look then. So your predictions on who will win the KIWI Kup if you don't?
If I don't, Prozac all the way. That man is an absolute madman.
Okay.
I reckon, like, literally, just from his first entry, I literally was just like, right, this guy's is going best. I mean, ideally, just for the absolute, like, pure hilarity of it, I'd love to see a Gemi v Yemi final.
I think that's what a lot of people are kind of asking for as well.
Yeah. That's the idea. But no, definitely, like, I reckon, like Prozac is absolutely, like, amazing. Like, he's relatively, like, he's relatively small. I think he's getting a lot of recognition recently, but all of the stuff he's been churning out is, like, absolutely amazing. So I'd love to see him win it if I don't.
Sick, man. Well, that's good to hear. One more time, what is the best social media tags for people to get you on different platforms?
Everything is at just Gemi Tunes.
Good stuff.
All one thing.
Cool. What are you saying for the rest of the day then?
Not much. Just chill out. I think I'm gonna. Man, I've been starting to be stupid and just make random TikToks of me remixing like tunes and stuff because I've been bored the past few days. So I'll probably whack another one of those up.
You know what though? This is the time to do it. You know, this is the time to kind of build that extra bit of following off the back of doing things a little bit unorthodoxly, and I'm not mad at that at all. I would actually recommend a lot of people do that more than anything else. So let's jump into our final tune. Hear that. Talk to me about this one before we finish up today.
There we go. It's a very in my head. It's always like it's another one that's just been sat on my hard drive for absolutely ages. Like I've had it since November. I'm still looking like I still don't know when it's coming out. But it's been sat there for ages. It's just like it's a little personal favourite. Like. I play it as much as I can whenever I'm doing sets and stuff like that. Well, obviously not at the moment, but I like it's just a nice little. I guess it's just a standard nice little club banger, which kind of it's just one of those ones that's just good to throw in a set and just kind of make people groove.
There we go then. Fabulous way to finish off the show, I believe. Dude, thank you for jumping on the line, and we'll speak soon.
No worries at all.
Good stuff. Out to everyone locked in this morning. Out to ex-Boothy, Margaret Alice, out to Neve, out to Know You, Daniel Gage, 2 Fuse, as well as that, out to Levs, out to Corey, out to the 3000 Bass Gang as well, and all of the silent listeners as well. It's been a really enjoyable show this morning. Please do make sure you are subscribing to the channel, hitting the like button on the video as well. Every subscriber helps, and we are growing rapidly. We've gone up from 200 to 250 in the last week. It's a moderately new channel, so we are trying to push it as much as possible. We're going to finish off with this one coming from a man like Gemi, going by the name of Hear That, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning. We're going to be joined by Smokey Bubbling B from around 10:30ish. It's going to be a really enjoyable show, so we'll see you then. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's been Brekky in the Cave, and yeah, we're out of here. Goodbye.
Gemi.